For this?
I don't know. This whole time, has Jenna been bringing the coffee and nobody told us?
Thanks, Christine. I got coffee and I have water. My partners have nothing. Brian.
We'll get to it. That's the Hall of Famer, Chris Carter. This is Nick Wright.
Sweeping the hallways to make sure Sarah got to her seat okay. You ain't get no beverage. Brian.
Good, Sarah. We're off and running, America.
You ready? We're ready,
Yeah, we're ready. Let's do it.
All right, we got so much to get to today, but we are going to start with Sunday Night Football. Two great quarterbacks facing off. Of course, Aaron Rodgers taking on Tom Brady in Foxborough. And the game was tied at 17 in the fourth when Aaron Jones fumbles. This would prove to be costly. And later in the fourth, Julian Edelman, look at that, finds James White on the double pass. White would score 3 plays later. New England goes up 24-17. Next Pats possession, Brady finds Josh Gordon for the 55-yard touchdown. And then Brady finished with just under 300 yards and a touchdown as the Pats win their 6th in a row. Packers fall to 3-4-1. And here's Brady after the game.
We made some plays in the fourth quarter when we needed to. And anytime you beat a good football team, it feels good. So 7-2 is it's a long ways from 1-2 where we were. We strung together a lot of wins, playing good football, and we got to keep it going.
We're not hitting on all cylinders. We're hurting ourselves with negative yards plays and missed throws and turnovers at the wrong time and not being on the same page too many times. Whether I'm missing a throw or we're not in the spot I think we're going to be at, it's happening in the worst times. When we have to play our best in those crunch times, we haven't been playing our best.
Nick, I have an important question to get to, but were they wearing the same cap?
It sure looked like it. They both had on the same black Scully. That was an odd look for both of them.
Yeah, I don't think they'd be doing it for free if it was the same one.
All right, what was the key to the Patriots beating the Packers without also Gronk and Sony Michel?
Last night it was coaching. Last night it was Bill Belichick and the Patriots coaching staff. For so long, we've had a Brady versus Belichick. Who's more important? Who's the real star of this dynasty? And they're really inextricably tied. Yesterday and all week leading up to the game, we had a Rodgers versus Brady discussion. Last night, what we saw was Bill Belichick. I don't have Gronk. I don't have Sony Michel. Well, good thing I've worked in some package with Cordarrelle Patterson a week early. I'm going to use that more. Trick plays. We said be ready for a trick play. They pulled out a couple of them. The flea flicker, the double pass. How about the fact that on the opening drive, they must have seen something on film. See, I was watching it, wanting to talk to you about it. They saw something on film that said, on this opening drive, we can take advantage of something the Packers want to do or can't do by playing at the fastest pace I've ever seen New England play. They saw throughout the game the defensive ends must have been crashing in because all of a sudden, late in the game, Julian Edelman end arounds become a part of the rushing attack. Like, you saw the Pats scheme their way to a win where through 3 quarters, Brady wasn't super sharp. Through 3 quarters, this wasn't the Tom Brady proving he's the GOAT versus Aaron Rodgers. It was the Patriots finding a way to hang in the game until their opponent makes a critical error, as is so often the case. In this game, it was a fumble by the Green Bay Packers running back. And Bill Belichick understanding what his guys do, how to get the most out of them, and understanding what the other team can't do.
And Bill Belichick believes in himself. That's why you go out and you trade a 5th rounder for a troubled Josh Gordon. What does Josh give you? He's been there like 5 weeks now.
Yeah.
He gives you 130 yards. So when you don't have Sony Michel, when you don't have Gronk, you have these other players. And because Belichick believes in his ability, regardless of what the player's past is, Cordarrelle Patterson, I can coach that guy. It's the old Bill Walsh philosophy. I might not have better players than you. Good players are important, but I'm a better coach. I coach the fundamentals of the game better. They take a wide receiver kick returner, move him back to tailback. He's got great vision. He runs with the football well. This is the thing that he's done well, but no one else has been able to get that part out of him in pro football. Josh Gordon. Josh always talked about how he loved Cleveland. Cleveland bent over backwards. Man, they did everything to try to get Josh Gordon. He had a bad Saturday, showed up late. They end up trading him to New England. They'll take him. Because why? Because I believe in my coaching. The beginning of the game plan was excellent. You're right. They did get off to that very fast pace that caught the Packers off guard and late in the game. So the beginning of the game and late in the game, this is what New England's done. The reason why they've been to 8 Super Bowls is you have to get them out of New England because that's the style for which they're going to play. They play like a playoff game in November like it's January, and that's something that the Packers and the rest of the league, week after week after week, the little small details, they are not going to be up on them, and that's why the legacy of Bill Belichick is what it is. It's about the details.
See, what do you think they could have seen on film or leading up to the game that made them decide that first drive we're going to play at as fast of a pace as you will ever see an NFL team play?
To me, it's about personnel. And they saw during the Rams game, the Packers were utilizing a lot of different personnel to try to stop Todd Gurley. It was nickel, it was dime. When they had 2 linebackers in, it was pretty much a run-dominant defense. Belichick decided, I got the personnel on the field, which is an undersized lineup.
So now
I'm going to make them keep that same lineup on the field. I'm going to dictate to them, forget about the pace, who they're going to have on the field, and that's what they did. Caught them off guard there, and that was just enough to be able to get the game going because they had a hard time scoring after that.
So they've won 6 straight.
Yep.
What after 9 games, how would you characterize this Patriots team this season?
This is what's so amazing about the 6-game winning streak. In the 6-game winning streak, most points in the league, most rush touchdowns in the league, 14th ranked passer in the league, Tom Brady. They haven't done it because Brady's been unbelievable. They've done it because they have invented a running game with Sony Michel and then into Cordarrelle Patterson. They've done it because of teams' fear. This is something you've taught me. Their fear of Tom Brady puts them in pass-heavy, pass-dominant defenses to where they can take advantage of the running game, which is what you saw yesterday. And they did it because take the Bears game. Okay, we're not playing great. How about we score a couple special teams touchdowns? Last night's game, Rodgers with the ball with a chance to score. His running back, Aaron Jones, makes a mistake. I saw Cordarrelle Patterson holding onto that football like it was his firstborn child. Like the one thing the Patriots, he was not going to do yesterday was fumble that ball. You saw the Packers at times, instead of trying to tackle him, trying to attack the football, maybe thinking he's not a traditional running back. He doesn't have experience with these types of defense, like running at the defense like you've talked about. No, he's not going to make a mistake. The Patriots, of course, had no key penalties. The Packers had one enormous penalty on this questionable roughing the punter penalty. Like, it's just they find ways to make sure that they are in position to win, and if you give them extra opportunities, that's how a tie game can turn into a 14-point win.
Yeah, but also last week was the trade deadline, and not like other trade deadlines before. I mean, it was as active as we've seen in the NFL, a lot like the NBA's been the last couple years, but you got a franchise, Packers, they traded away one of their better players, Ha-Ha Dixon, and did they actually get better? Because New England, regardless, off-season free agency, before the draft, also after when they lost their offensive tackle, Nate Solder, man, they've been able to go out and acquire players under the radar and just coach them up, and those guys are making significant contributions. Those are the big differences I see between these franchises.
The Patriots traded away a 5th-round pick and added a guy yesterday who had the game-sealing touchdown. The Packers traded for a 4th-round pick and lost Ha-Ha Clinton Dix, who even if Green Bay folks were killing me all weekend, he's overrated, he's not as good. I bet you after your safety got thrown out of the game on that, I thought, unfair penalty, but whatever. I bet you wish you had him then. I bet you wish you had him when you saw defensive back after defensive back go down with an injury. And the other thing that happened yesterday is an interesting little microcosm of the Brady-Rodgers debate. Rodgers through 3 quarters was winning the argument last night. Through 3 quarters, Rodgers has him beat across the board. Through 3 quarters, Brady was not sharp. Now show us the 4th quarter real quick. Brady with a perfect passer rating. Rodgers struggled. Now, I don't think that is indicative of who Rodgers is late typically, but that is indicative of who Tom Brady is late. Making the plays at the end of the game, that's where Brady was excellent. That's where he's been excellent for about 18 years now.
All right, we're going to get to another great quarterback coming up. How was Drew Brees able to hand the Rams their first loss of the year? That's next on First Things First.